It's doing 3. Yeah, 3.
Beast or man makes no difference to me.
Oh! Let's go! Woo! Oh! 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 I can't really use that one, but for us, we got. Oh, we just go these. That's it. Not really. Yeah. And another 6. A lock. That's it. Oh! Yes! Yes! Meta breaker! Woo! Oh my. Oh. Oh my god.
Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Oh! Mage torturer!
It is how I punish those who irritate me.
And coup! And leader! Do you know how many freaking, how many lines I'm seeing with that? I'm seeing so many lines there, man.
And if I insert a needle
Alright.
here, what then?
Oh, yo, get ready for it. This is gonna be a match, man. This is gonna be a match. Oh my goodness. KG, how many locks would you like? Yes. We got Nova, we got Coup, got everything, man. Opponent slowly starts to realize what is about to happen. Oh my god. I have too much fun on this stream, I'm telling you. Ooh. Oh my goodness. What's up, legends? Welcome back to another deck guide. Before we get into today's list, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please take the time to do so now. My next objective is to reach 10,000 subscribers. Really appreciate your help and support in achieving that goal. For today, I've put together a Nilfgaard list, utilizing some of the Nilfgaard witches, Letho, Seret, and Ox in particular. Leader ability that we're going to be utilizing is Imprisonment. This order allows us to lock an enemy unit and damage it by 3. We have 2 charges. Typically, leader ability is best saved round 2 and 3. Maybe you want to use 1 charge round 1 if you need round control in particular against a certain deck. Magic Lamp is the stratagem. Transform into Lamp Djinn. We get this 5-powered token unit. This is when we go first, of course. What I'm going to do is run you through this list bottom up, explain how best to play each card, when to play it during a match, and then we're going to discuss how to execute the strategy for this deck. So to begin with, we do have Emissary in this list. It's a disloyal unit, meaning it gets played to your opponent's side of the board. On deploy, we get to boost an ally by 7 of our choice. Emissary isn't a card I typically search for in this deck. I usually shuffle it away when I see it, but because we are playing Braithens, it can help giving Braithens a proactive play into a round when there's no units to copy through the use of Duchess Informant. Emissary is also a good counter to Sea Hill decks at this time, so it may find some value at the moment. We are running a number of tactics because we've got Calvate in this list. So double Tourney Joust. This offers control. You get to remove an enemy unit's shield, damage it by 4, or give an allied unit a shield, boost it by 4. With these tactics, you can utilize them round 1 if you like. Use them as you need to during a match, depending how relevant they are. We have Ointment. Boost a unit by 5. If it's a soldier, you get to heal it first. We have Double Diplomacy. Diplomacy allows us to create and play a bronze card from your opponent's faction. So Diplomacy has synergy with assimilate units. Basically what you want to do is play your assimilate units down on the board and then start playing these create effect cards, because our assimilate units will be boosting once we begin creating. So Diplomacy is quite nice round 1 if you like to use those cards, after having played Mage Torturer in particular. We have 2 Duchess Informant. Duchess Informant is a disloyal unit like the Emissary. Once again, this gets played onto the opponent's side of the board, and all you have to really know is that you're copying bronze units that the opponent has on their side of the board. Try to target effective engines that can give you the most value playing this card. And much like Diplomacy, what you want to do is have your assimilate units down on the board first before you really start getting into committing these kinds of cards. And they are fine to play round 1 if you like, to help get you round control. We are playing the Blight Maker package. This is to help give us points to get round control round 1. So what we want to do is feel free to play out both Blight Makers round 1, making sure you keep the Mage Assassins in your deck because of how these cards work. So basically what we do with the Blight Makers is we play them down on the board. They allow us to look into our deck, move a card to the top. If it's a mage, we get to spawn the Guardian, that 3-power token unit you see there. We're going to be selecting the Mage Assassin. So we get the Guardian, and according to the Mage Assassin's ability, the Mage Assassin will get drawn out to the board, and you're doing 2 points of random damage to one of the opponent's units. The way to get the best value out of Blightmaker is to wait until your opponent has units on their side of the board, so you don't miss out on that damage value that the Mage Assassin offers. If you find that you have a Mage Assassin in your hand, just hold off until the following round to play out this package with one of the packages, if it's kind of bricked for you. We have 2 Mage Torturers, an Assimilate unit. This unit is how we're going to look to make Terra Nova consistent and how Terra Nova plays according to that card's ability. Bear in mind, these are the only 2 cards we have in this deck to offer spying. So play them wisely and hold on to them well. Wait till your opponent plays a good unit. And what you're going to do is pretty much you're just committing Mage Torturer when there's a good unit to give spying to for Terra Nova to replay later. Okay, that's the idea with the Mage Torturers. So whenever you find them, just hold on to them because we're kind of limited in this deck with how many spying synergies we have. This is a veiled unit, so it can't gain statuses. Assimilate. Whenever we're creating and playing cards not from our list, this card's going to be boosting itself by 1. Deploy, given an enemy unit spying. You can commit 1 Mage Torturer around 1 and then save the other for the subsequent rounds. Now into the Nilfgaard Witches that we're playing. So bear in mind, with these 3 witches we have in this deck, they are a bit of a package play because they work together. I should really start off with Letho. So let's just skip to Letho right now. So with Letho of Gullet, deploy if Ox is in your hand, lock an enemy unit. If Seret's in your hand, damage an enemy unit by 3. If both are in your hand, lock a unit and damage it by 3. So according to this card's ability, we really just want to commit it once we have those 2 witches that you see there in our hand. That's when it's going to play for the greatest value. If you like, you can commit this package or maybe like one of the cards round 1, such as Letho round 1, and save Ox and Seret for later. Try to use them sparingly because they do offer some quite good control. We can go over Ox and Seret here because we can see them as well. So with Ox, deploy, lock an enemy unit. If Seret is in your hand, lock all copies of that unit on the opponent's side. Seret, deploy, damage an enemy unit by 2. If Ox is in your hand, damage that unit by 4 instead. Most likely the sequencing of play you're going to take is to play Letho first, followed by Seret, and then you probably just use Ox as a lock. I think typically that's what's going to happen best. So bear in mind how the cards work, the synergy they have. Of course, if you can save these over a long round 3 together, that's probably the wisest thing. But, you know, sometimes you may have to commit certain cards in certain spots. Letho can be played in 1 round alone, and you can still reserve Ox and Seret for some good synergy later. So good that we covered those. We have Surrender in here. This is kind of a tech card against dwarf lists. And also Endrega Lava with the Koshi that we're seeing at this time. Endrega Lava armored units. So this could work against those kind of decks in particular, I think. Remove 2 armor from all units in a row, damage them by 2. You can use it at the end of a match. Say if you've gone into a long round 3 against the opponent, there's a high likelihood there's a lot of units stacked on a row. Could still play for good value at the end of the match. Bribery, create and play a unit from your opponent's starting deck. Bribery, we want to kind of play with Braithens and Terra Nova. I suggest round 2 or 3. Make sure you have assimilate units down on the board before you play this. For some control, Yennefer's Invo. Place an enemy unit at the top of your deck. So if your opponent has a good unit that you can utilize yourself later, you could kind of use this round 1 sometimes. Round 2 or 3, you can just save as a tall punish option, removing a lot of points from the opponent at the end of the match as well, perhaps. A few different ways to use that card. Calvate gives our deck consistency. Sort the cards in your deck from the highest to the lowest provision cost. So we're going to find Calvate round 1. The likelihood increases according to how many tactics in our deck. For the most part, the way this deck's been built, I've been finding Calvate most of the time round 1, round 2 latest. So what you really want to do with Calvate is play him first thing, round 1. And Calvate just ensures we get all of our best cards really as the match progresses. So it does kind of make sense that we go into a long round 3 if we can get round control playing Calvate round 1. Especially because we're kind of a heavy control list. Then we got Ku. Echo, so we get to utilize this card twice. Damage an enemy by 3. If we get the death blow on a unit, we get to spawn and play a base copy of it, which can be pretty good. Conspiracy, if we've given a unit spying status and hit it with Ku, we also get to replay it. So you can use Ku in combination with Leader, damage something down, hit the death blow. You can use it in combination with Mage Torturers and our disloyal units. That's the kind of way you want to use it. Use 1 charge round 1, the other one with Terra Nova, Braithens, perhaps round 2 or 3. Heat Wave is in this deck to deal with scenario cards in particular. Banish a unit or an artifact, or of course you could target resilience units, something with a tall power level at the end of the match. Braithens, assimilate unit, just like the Mage Torturer that we covered. On deploy, you get to create 2 disloyal units. You're going to pick one of your choice though. So like I said, we have Emissary in this deck, Duchess Informant. Typically the best play will be to utilize Braithens to play into Duchess Informant, copying a good bronze engine from the opponent. That's the best way to play this card. But if there's no targets or good targets, just play an Emissary and boost Braithens up if you like. We want to kind of save Braithens to be played with Terra Nova. And if we can take these strong assimilate units into a long round 3, I think would be best with our deck. And then we got Terra Nova, assimilate unit like Braithens. Spawn and play a base copy of any non-disloyal unit you gave spying to during this game, excluding self. Whatever you utilize the Mage Torturers to give spying to basically is what Terra Nova can recreate for you. So this has the potential to be a very strong card. Terra Nova is so strong, typically you're going to play this over the course of a long round 3. Try to save it till then. Now that I've covered the list, let me explain how to execute the strategy for this deck. Round 1 cards to commit. You can open up with Calvate, play out both Blightmaker packages. If there's a good unit that you'd like Terra Nova to recreate later, play a Mage Torturer round 1. Play Duchess Informants, lower costed bronze cards. Perhaps the Nilfgaard Witcher package as well. Ku. Hopefully that's enough to get you round control. Let's say it is. What I really suggest with our list is that we most likely want to go a long round 3, and here's why. Look at the amount of control we have with this list. You got 2 locks through Leader. You've got Heat Wave. You've got Yennefer. You've got potential locks with Letho, Ox. You got damage with Seret. So because we have so much control, if we're versing an engine deck in particular, maybe a long round 3 is best. However, if it's something like Sea Hill, one of those kinds of lists, sometimes you may need to bleed. So really, it's going to depend on the kind of deck you verse. Let's say you're going into a long round 3 though. What we're going to do is look to play into that round, utilizing Braithens, Terra Nova, get our assimilate units down on the board. early on in the beginning of the round. And then we can start looking to create cards, etc. through the use of bribery, utilize coup, maybe mage torturer, diplomacy, play your Nilfgaard Witcher package out. Really depends on what you haven't committed or not, right? Towards the end of the match, surrender could play good. You got bribery, heat wave for a scenario if it comes up, or you can just reserve heat wave and yen at the end of the match for some tall punish options. And of course, utilizing leader to shut down the opponent's strong engines during the round you're going to be playing into. So I hope you enjoy the following matches. Really appreciate your time and support. And all versing knights deck, guys. That's what we're gonna do. There's an incredibly skilled move from the opponent, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I love like versing the most broken decks, the hardest lists out there, because that's how we define ourselves through those challenges. You know what I'm saying? That like counts for a lot when you can defeat decks like that are broken stuff, or like, you know, just really strong like meta decks, right? That is what we're here to do, man. Yeah, get out of there. Seven Nation. Really? Immortals. Oh man, we got a problem versing these synergies they keep presenting to us here. I don't really want to go Mage Torture there though. Yeah, it's an engine. It's pretty good. Wow. Man, we just got a pretty solid engine actually. Let's go meta breaking time. Let's do it, Pocus. You defeated your exam. I'm gonna defeat the meta. We're in it together.
Huh? What is it?
Could be a pass for us, eh? Because I don't want to risk losing on even. And I don't know about our hand pushing in and all that. They'll play Vandergrift on the pass, maybe. It's a very smart thing to do. Yep. That could be the Yennefer target coming up for us. Because they'll want to reach Grace again, and we can let them dump points in it. And then, like, we take it. Or something else could come up too, we'll see. This is not so good now. And Letho incoming. And next up, so we're damaging now if we play Letho. He works according to their abilities. Yes.
Axe or mace, sir?
Bing. Bing. Mahakam Ale. So they just clicked the order, right? On that already. I could even go Mage Torture here, you know. Mage Torture here. Terra Nova. Coup.
Suffering a noble's friend. You'll be a count once I'm done with you.
Maybe I should play that range because they got a lot of good range row synergy. Maybe range was better. Amphibious assault. They're really going for it. Seriously.
How to reload it?
Far out, man. That is a problem. We may need to rely on a... No, I can't go a strong engine now. I already committed it. So, could even just do this now.
Not enough to sit back and do nothing. Treacherous witch.
And then I could coup it. Play it again. Invo the damsel defender. You mean the 16? Yeah, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, legend. That's it, talk. Ooh, that's a good one.
Lay down, my lady. I shall be with you shortly.
We gotta focus on engine value because they're getting too far ahead though here. Alright, so it's gonna be like this is climbing, yeah? So I need cards for later too. What if I just do this one first?
Her grace will not be pleased.
Get thee behind me.
That. My goodness. We could go for... What's good here? We gotta copy another engine, maybe? Because they're getting too far ahead. Honestly, I feel like they're pushing really hard here. So, maybe this... could very well be.
True love could lift the curse, but who would love such a freak?
That.
Just a peek. That is all I need.
Be warned, my sword is mighty.
Maybe a coup? Coup the 6? Coup the Vandergrift?
Down with the mirror.
Oh, okay. What are we queuing exactly? Because their points are getting a bit too ridiculous. 20. What if I just yen that now? Or we want to do this first?
What has that witch done?
Then we're gonna go yen on the really tall one. Q1L, inversion. We got some really good carryover, guys. Wow, if we can like really push over to the next,
Fill my cure out.
it's ridiculous.
Go on.
If we can really make this, it's crazy. Why don't we just hit a bribery? Bribery's good, go assimilate units. What? Is that worth it? It probably is. 20, they're gonna go down 20 points. 40. Ha!
No. No.
Woo! Oh. Oh man. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. This is crazy.
Watery tart. I'll show you.
Why are they hitting with that? Okay. £21 points. 50. Oh! My goodness!
Coming for you.
It's doing 3. Yeah, 3.
Beast or man makes no difference to me.
Oh! Let's go! Woo! Oh! 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 I can't really use that one, but for us, we got. Oh, we just go these. That's it. Not really. Yeah. And another 6. A lock. That's it. Oh! Yes! Yes! Meta breaker!
Nice, Tedatu.
Woo! Oh my. Oh. Oh my god.
Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Oh. Oh.
Let's give up now.
Oh. Yeah, it's gonna break the shield. Oh. Oh man. Yes! Meta breaker! Oh! We did it! We get the meta breaker. Oh!
I bring death. Quite literally.
Woo! Oh my days! Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. We did it! Oh. Your boomer clock. That's a good way to put it, man. We're gonna find Calvader. Yes! Oh, I'm very happy that we got 2 wins against Knights. Wow. Meta breaker. That's it. We got the title for the deck, Meta Breaker. We're gonna put all the meta decks in here. All the meta decks that we're versing on stream. It's gonna be called Meta Breaker. Don't worry, it's not clickbait. I got evidence.
Diplomacy is dignified work. My arse.
They're playing the envoy thingy. Let's get our deck consistency going.
Sons of Nilfgaard.
Thank you, Belt. Appreciate it. More Nilfgaard shenanigans. We're playing the Nilfgaard Witches, my friend. Seret, Ox, and Letho. You're very lucky with the draws. Thank you. KG superhero name. Are you trying to name me a superhero, or what are you trying to say, Lemon? You trying to give me a name over there? The Meta Breaker. That's my Gwent superhero name.
I pass on every tenth.
Will I get blight?
No good wine will come from here.
Right
not
here.
even compost.
The Holy Trinity. Nah, I'd never say such thing about myself. Always keep it humble, you know. Mage Torturer!
It is how I punish those who irritate me.
And Coup! And Leader! Do you know how many freaking, how many lines I'm seeing with that? I'm seeing so many lines there, man.
And if I insert a needle
Alright.
here, what then?
Oh, yo, get ready for it. This is gonna be a match, man. This is gonna be a match. Oh my goodness. KG, how many locks would you like? Yes. We got Nova, we got Coup, got everything, man. Opponent slowly starts to realize what is about to happen. Oh my god. I have too much fun on this stream, I'm telling you. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How many locks do I have in this deck? Boiling oil? You gotta get boiling oil, man. You can't let me use that.
Gladly help.
Yeah, you gotta do something. You gotta do something like that. Get it out of your system. What a match, man. Wow. Are you kidding me? We're gonna have Nova with him again. Yo, what's up, Corp? Yeah, Letho's gang. Opponent's kind of struggling for points too, huh?
I hate nothing more than a creaky door.
I got Heatwave to deal with Scenario. Left you without a daily reward? How could that happen to you, my dear friend? That's very unfair. Yeah, it's true, Corp. A few different ways to play them. Some error? Really? That's unusual. Why aren't they generous to you? You have generous in your name. Damn it. They need to live up to your expectations. Ballista? We can also go... Bing. Bing. Don't worry, we won't show them the full thing. Service before payment. Honestly, is going a long round even that bad if I got so many locks? Probably ain't. What's so bad about going a long round? Yeah, take it. I'll give you round control. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Letho. Ox. Yeah, pass. Oh my goodness, man. We have got so much freaking control. Now you guys know why I love playing a simulator, right? This is exactly why. Maybe we're spending bribery on the pass though, if they're passing here. Probably bribery on the pass. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another out of it, to be honest. I usually got a lot of magic. I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably bribery. Yeah. No? Man, that's pretty good too. Can I use the scroll for any kind of... I didn't do anything like that. That's a pretty sick high roll too, though. Okay, we have so much control coming up. Yo, poke us with a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, my dear friend. Exceptional legend. And maybe I'm getting rid of surrender in this one. And we just keep it like that. Yeah, I feel bad for the opponent. We have so many locks, dude. What do we got played out? Yeah, let's do it. So opening play is going to be turned over into infinite locks. They can't even answer that on time, can they? This is cracked. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thank you, man. How about yourself? Such a pleasure to see you, my brother. Hey, man, we got the heat wave out there, man. It ain't so bad, I'm telling you. It really ain't so bad. We got 3 locks. It already did its carryover job. I probably want to steal engines, though, with Braithens and say maybe this one.
The shape, a fine vintage it would be.
Oh, congratulations, Bogus. Well done, my friend. Happy for you, man. Very happy to hear about that. Yeah, we got the heat wave there. 3 locks on standby. Oh, this deck, I'm really liking it. Honestly, it's filthy with the control we got. It's filthy, man. Oh my goodness. Everything's getting instantly answered. That's gonna get locked. Hensel. The Pride, Foltest Pride's gonna get locked. Everything's getting locked, man. They're gonna expend leader fully now because I know it's coming. Yeah, it's gonna go for it now. You should go for it all the way now. You should not float that. You should definitely go for it. Yeah, that's right. Go, 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 go. You can do it, you can do it. You're almost there. Sniped, man. Maybe this can be for Yennefer, if they want to keep putting stuff into it.
I'll behave, I promise.
Or do we just lock it now? They'll have another AA charge. Like that. So that's gonna damage anywhere now because it's got the crew. Damage a random enemy unit by 1. Right. Unless I break crew using a spy. Thank you, Zero. Nice to see you, friend. It pretty much is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's probably going to be yen target. Right. At the end of the match, we go yen there? Probably. Yeah, that's the tool punish target. You know, we can just kill it off too.
Beast or man makes no difference to me.
Thanks, Focus. You should have seen some of our matches, man. First match of the stream, I had a bricked Mage Assassin and Nova, and I still won with this. Yeah, I mean, Lock's fine there too.
Sometimes I've had about enough.
Are we doing this one now?
My loyalty is to Imperial coin, not to the face depicted thereon.
My duty? To stick my nose where it doesn't belong.
The Kiwi with the Prime subscription. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you, that Kiwi dude TV. Love your streams, brother. Appreciate it. On days I play NG. You're gonna like this one, man. Okay, I got an idea. We death blow. What's his name again? Henselt, is it? And we can play this. This is crew, right? Okay, forfeits. I was gonna death blow the 3 and then pull out that unit from the deck. Probably pass off Terra Nova, huh? So surrender isn't... Surrender's not that good here. In these matches. Maybe there it's good. Informant. Alright. Cool, bro. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate the feedback. We can shut it down just playing Blight Maker.
I bring death, quite literally.
That's okay. So we can actually go coup there on the 3. That's nice. Just a bit of a tech card. Could work good against Dwarfless. Koshi decks at the moment.
Never surrender.
Now that is a strong engine. I wish I could have copied. We have to get this out.
I forgive. This time.
If only I had Mage Torture for that. That's such a good target. Alright. Yeah, that's gotta eat the Yennefer, probably. Probably Yennefer there.
Don't retreat! Damn it!
So I can play that back for resilience, huh? Yeah. Ooh, that's a really good steal then. If you think about it value-wise, it's really nice. I think it's fantastic. Fantastic take, that one. Squire.
Your shields are...
How far are we going to push into this one? We copy. Maybe copy that. Or I could just queue it, get rid of it completely.
Let's give up now!
Arendite. Oh, that was smart. Maybe, like, could it be a good idea to keep pushing here? Judging by how the hand's looking from the opponent. If I did, I'd probably end up locking the 12 now. Can this lock? I need... If Ox is in your hand, lock an enemy unit. So this is going to damage, is it? Is this removing armor? It would still break shield. Stopping it.
I'm coming for you.
Maybe put some pressure on now. Just by kind of, yeah, looking at the hand, how it is. Nice, man. That's great. Win on evens pretty good against this deck. Sure, feel free to utilize whatever you want, friends. It's just a style that I come up with. Please add what you think is better. Go for it. I think we passed this one off in this matchup. It's not really... Because of the infusion, say. Heat Wave's good. Wow, man, this is some serious value. Look at that. So I have to wait to get Seret, huh? And Seret and Ox together, I should say. If Ox is in your hand, damage that unit by 4. Right. Okay, so I have to wait till I get the other Witcher for this.
Lay down, my lady. I shall be with you shortly.
What? What in the world? I mean, how far do I really push into this round? Boosting. We need boosty stuff. Play the knight.
Long live acceptance.
What do we try and do? Make him waste things? I kind of don't want to commit the bigger combos we have either, though. Get scenario out. Can we do that? Maybe get scenario. Scenario and save tool punish for next round. We're pretty good. Boiling oil. Okay. Or we could go Braithens, maybe.
Your name, young man, should be cursed into an urchin.
My duty? To stick my nose where it doesn't belong.
So we haven't given spying to anything this match?
Your spear, sir.
Oh. Which is kind of sketchy.
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
Yeah, no, Otter, I got a bit confused seeing that. I was like, what? How come that's working right now? Okay. Wow, I gave it the infusion. Seriously.
Her grace will not be pleased.
Maybe we pass now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Yes. And resilience.
For king and country!
Whoa. That was close, man. Ah, they just did it. I'll tell you what. Oh my days. You gotta find Mage Torture though, man. I haven't set up Nova. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. Oh, come on, dude. Don't do this to me. Come on, we got 2 over the Mage Assassin. Keeping that Mavis good still. That's it. Alright, man. Alright, alright. That's what I'm talking about. Jeez Louise, dude. Okay, we got a heatwave target. What's our line of play gonna be? So we want to play this one first? By 4, yes. This one's gonna come out first. I kind of don't want to play this yet. That's gonna be our heat wave, man. What's gonna be bigger than that? That's climbing as well. Yeah, it's gonna. Let's do it now. Oh.
No faces, you've no hearts.
It needs to get locked, like.
No good wine will come from here, not even compost.
So I'll lock that with leader. Because I have to play this before this. Let's see what they have first. Okay. We also lock that though, too. This.
Do I enjoy torture? Perhaps. A bit.
That. So Terra Nova to get that to break shield here, maybe? It's probably the best I could do now.
Company! Forward march!
So last card for them is Arendite.
Feeling a bit deja vu.
Oh, it's a heat wave.
This could hurt. There is no escape.
Man, this is huge. We're defeating knights with this deck. Could even come back around to them. Gotta find blight makers, don't we? Thanks for the follow, appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, truthful. It's all good. It's part of the game, my friend.
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
It's absolutely fine. Happens. Immortals, right.
When one falls, another replaces him.
We could simply lock it. We could go Mage Torturer. Maybe a lock is good there.
I'll behave, I promise.
Could have like Mahakam Ale or something. Most likely to play the Sorceress now, if they're playing that out. Yep.
Huh? What is it?
Right. We don't really want these as copy targets for Terra Nova. How much more are they going to use that? It's just for that, is it?
I know the truth. I simply want you to admit it.
Probably want a long route against this deck. Hello everyone, what's up? Pretty good, thanks. How about yourself? Oh, it's ale. We could break it that way. Maybe another lock there. We got pretty hard on the locks, man. But I have to save that for Seret, huh? So go like that. What would bribery get me here? Maybe it's bribery. Okay, so we're getting immortals ourselves. I can play my own immortals, maybe. If we can copy that.
Claim victory!
I can copy the sorceress, and we can kind of play it back. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. Yazuga. Very happy for you. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy your day, my friends. It's all about you today. Touch this informant. Onto that sorceress. Oh, that's good. Even better. Cool. Seret and Ox for later. I'm probably still carrying in Mage Torturer. Yeah. I think we just go a long round. Don't really have a concern to bleed. Because we got control. Enjoying my relics? Nice. How'd you go with it? There's a lot of tempo in that list. Really good deck to 2-0 the opponent, that one. I love playing relics, man. It's great. Okay, I got the resilience. Yeah, there is a few decks out there like that already. You're talking about like the rat clog? Do I really want Blightmaker over my current cards? Probably not. Just leave it. See what they play. Thank you very much, Eves. Appreciate the kind words. Lock there ain't bad, probably. Or do we want to lock something else? Maybe I save the damage for another unit.
Your spear, sir.
They're dead already.
We can go Serret there. Serret could be good. Oh, Ox, sorry. There's Ox, right? We can go Ox to lock that. Better to save Ox for it because if I'm using Leader, we're kind of wasting the damage a bit. It's an armored unit. We got to kind of answer them both though.
Sometimes I've had about enough.
So Leader charge has to go there, is it? What's good for the Mage Torturer to copy? Draco Turtle? So like an alchemy kind of deck? I used to play them a lot back in the day. That's a pretty good target to copy.
I never short on stamina.
We can even work up to getting Grace for that, can we? So look that load. I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe I'm just going here.
And if I insert a needle here, what then?
I'll probably just go for these. Just copy those out. Pretty strong unit to copy. I can put a spying unit in between the 9 and the 8 and kind of stop it from working a bit.
Lay down, my lady. I shall be with you shortly.
It's over there too. It's on 4.
Your name, young man's man, should be cursed into an urchin.
Her grace will not be pleased.
Terra Nova could come down next too. Or maybe we go... Yeah, it should be like Terra Nova. Then we coup the spy again. Something like that.
Be warned, my sword is mighty.
Or we can play another spy now and kind of stop some of this value again.
Just a peek. That is all I need.
So it should be like that, is it?
Feel my sure ass. Go on.
Alright. Gonna play Terra Nova? It gets funny when you start copying all these cards. Mad Charge.
Long live the king.
Okay. So Surrender's not actually that good for us, man. Because we're breaking the shield and then they're boosting. Crap.
None of you to sit back and do nothing.
I never swore.
That's some sick engine value for us though. Wow. Jeez. Okay.
I hate nothing more than a creaky door.
Lay down, my lady. I shall be with you shortly.
We got a lock, really?
Hope we can trust you.
Where's best to play? Surrender. Melee row? 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's that infused with there? They're all got infusions. And we'll just take whatever's left. Whatever the highest powered unit is, I guess. Doing pretty good, Bully. How are you, my friend? Surrender the surrender. Discard it, you think? We got a lot of great value out of their engines.
Welcome back, Geralt of Rivia.
Alright. True. Whoa!